Welcome to the very first video of 2026. I hope this video finds you well. First up, if you are new to me, I want you to know that in this video, the point is not to sell you on how wonderful I am. Truly. The point is to have an honest conversation about the things that you might be thinking in your mind, the questions you might have, the questions that people come to me with all the time as they try and make a decision about whether or not they should get coaching, whether or not I'm the right coach for them. And I just want to speak some of them out loud so that if you are going round and round in your head trying to figure these things out, we can just flesh them out. So there are three main points that I want to cover here. One is you probably are asking yourself whether you realize it or not, whether it's coaching with me or coaching with anybody else, whether we call it mentoring, any kind of course, a reading, you're getting some kind of support from someone. You're probably asking yourself, one, will this help me? Like, will it make any difference? So that's question number one, and I'm going to flesh these out a bit more. But question number two is, will I feel safe with her? As in, all of the things that are happening for you, all of the experiences that you've had in the past, good, bad, or ugly, of being supported by people. You might have had experiences in the past where you have felt like really unsafe, where you have felt taken advantage of, where you have felt poked or prodded when you didn't want to be. There might be any number of reasons that might cause you to feel timid or unsure about being seen so deeply by a projector, or like paying for support with someone. So that might be question number two that you have is, will you feel safe with me? And then number three is, am I making the right decision? And this one comes up for people a lot because we talk so much in human design about like, make sure you follow your strategy and inner authority, or like you're trying to work out how to best use your resources of the time, money, and energy that you have. So I just want to spend maybe 10 minutes or so just talking through those three things. So if you feel like this video will be useful to you, then you can give this a thumbs up so that YouTube shares it with more people. And let's talk through those now. And if you're on live, hi, I see you. Okay, so I have notes because I wanted to make sure that I talked about all of the things that I wanted. So let's talk about number one. Will this help me? If you were to get a coaching session with me, often in that people will think to themselves, wow, I'm so complex. Like my chart is different to maybe anybody else she's seen. My life experience is different to maybe anyone else she's seen. Like, what about when you put together the complexity of who I am? Can Carolyn work with the complexity of who I am? And the most honest answer is, I don't know. Like, it would be arrogant of me to say, of course. But what is really lovely for me to have received is feedback again and again from people that show me that this is actually one of my greatest skills, is layering in everything that I have learned with playing with human design for more than a decade, and all of the space holding that I've done, and all of the deconditioning, trauma release work, nervous system healing, putting it all together means actually that's why this is still joyful for me. More than 12, 13 years, 13 and a half years of coaching. The reason it's still joyful for me to work with people one-on-one is because you're all different. And I never know who's going to show up. I might have your chart, but I'm like, ooh, how have they been conditioned? How have they been nurtured? How is this person actually going to show up on the call? And then the joy for me, the dance for me, is to meet you where you are and to help you dance your way forward into a slightly happier, slightly healthier, more empowered, more joyful, more realizing you're awesome version of you. And that's the super fun bit for me, is like, I don't know who you're going to be. Let's find out. Let's go and sit in all this complexity of whatever joyful amazingness you bring and whatever demons you bring. Well, let's like walk through it together. So the complexity is the joyful bit for me. Now, will this be helpful for you? There is another point that I've written on my page, which is for you to know really clearly what my strengths are. There are two things I have identified over all these years of coaching that I'm very good at this point in time. That is explaining the human design theory to newbies. So if you are fairly new to human design and you're still tripping over terms like what's strategy, what's inner authority, what does this profile mean, like any of the words on your chart that you're like, I can't do anything with this chart because I still don't understand all these words. Like, can somebody just explain these words to me in plain English? Or can you relate it to something I already know? That is one of my strengths. Thank you, Gate 23, for just, explaining things simply. And the other area that is a strength of mine is helping you to be able to apply your human design to your real life. So even if you know truckloads about human design, huge amounts, but you're like, yeah, but I can't live it. Like I'm struggling to actually, I know all this stuff mentally, but I can't embody it. I can't use it in my life. That is another area that I have a strength. Now, let's just talk for a minute about why, in what situation my coaching may not help you. It may not help you if you are somebody who wants to know infinite amounts of detail about your chart and you're looking to get into all the nitty gritty and all the weeds, and you have been working with human design for years and years and years and years and years, and you're more interested in diving into the complexity of this and this and this and this, and not so much looking at how to apply it to your life. I'm probably not going to be the right person for you. Okay. So that's point number one. Number two, will I feel safe with her? So I have a couple of notes on here. One, I had a client session in, I think it was December, somewhere in the last month, where somebody had been binging a lot of my content on YouTube, and they got on the call and they're like, oh my God, you're just like in your videos. And I was like, highest compliment ever. And that's why I have leaned, part of why I've leaned more and more into doing YouTube lives, because once I hit record, yes, I can go and edit out things if I make say occasionally I say gate 18 when I meant to say gate 28 or something like that, right? So I can go and remove things to make sure that it's really clear. But I want you to see me. This is me. This is what you get. This is literally what I'm like. Now, yes, if we're talking about something serious and you're having a really hard time and you're in tears, I'm not going to be all joyful and bubbly. I'm going to be gentle and compassionate and being with you. But yeah, this is me. So the other point I have on here is, what have I got? Video. What did past Carolyn write on this piece of paper? Video recording for you. Okay. This is actually why I'm doing this live today, because I had a session a week ago maybe, and the woman was brand new to me. She consumed some of my content on YouTube, and she saw that I was recording the session, which I do say in my session description when you're booking, that I'm recording the session so that you can revisit it if you want to. Because sometimes I might teach a lot of information in a session. For example, if you are trying to learn a lot about the chart, you want to understand enough about the theory that then you can actually go and do something with it. So if you're keen, I might layer in lots of information, knowing that I'm giving you the recording, and I go, there's no way your brain can take in all that information at once. Just take in what you can take in now. Go and rewatch the recording once or twice or 3 times, and go and take notes and work with all of the layers of stuff I'm teaching you. That is the primary reason I create a video recording. And what this woman was saying is it was obvious to her, she didn't feel very safe with the behavior that happens with a lot of coaches online. And I cringe when I see it, which is coaches taking video footage of their clients, whether it's one-on-one or in a group, and using it as proof that they're coaching people, using it as look at how great I am. Let me brag about my coaching. The reason I cringe is because that's not how we create a safe space for you. I create a safe space for you by thinking about what are the things that are going to help you feel contained. I want your nervous system to feel as held as possible, because that helps you learn things. And that's the whole point. Your whole point is to either learn new things or unlearn things that are like unhelpful. And all of that requires your nervous system to feel as safe as possible, which means I don't want to do anything that jeopardizes your sense of safety. And I want my work to speak for itself. So if I will go as far as asking clients sometimes for testimonials, and I will, in giving them the option to provide a testimonial so that I can put that on the site. If you want to like look at any of those or read any of those, you can just go to carolinsouthwell.com/client love, I think is what it is. If I haven't got the right link, just go to carolinsouthwell.com and then like click around on the coaching and find client love. But that gives you guys an opportunity to give me a testimonial if you want to. Because safety is about feeling safe to say no, right? And also for you to then put it in your own words and to know that I'm going to share it in online spaces, right? It is not appropriate, and in my mind, it's not ethical to share recordings or even photos or anything of clients unless we have asked for express permission to do so, and we've given somebody a real opportunity to say no. So you will not see video recordings or even screenshots of client sessions from me anywhere, because my number one priority for you is for you to feel safe, because I can't do the depth of work with you that I want to do unless you feel really safe. Okay, now I have one more point on this, which is, do you feel seen, understood, and safe by me when you watch these? Okay, so that's what Past Carolyn was saying. Thanks, Past Carolyn. So if you are, the question that I want you to ask yourself, if you have had experiences of not feeling safe with coaches or any kind of practitioner therapist before, of like, am I going to feel safe with Carolyn in a session, is as you go through and watch videos of me speaking, whether they're lives or whether they're like pre-recorded videos from years ago where I was like trying to like look good on camera because I was worried about getting it perfect or getting it right. When you watch those, notice how, and you listen to me, notice how you feel in your body. In the recorded version of Carolyn or the live version of Carolyn, how does your body feel then? Because if you feel pretty good, if you feel like seen and understood and to some degree held, and you like how you feel when you watch my videos, there's a very good chance you're going to feel the same or better when I'm coaching you live. Okay, point number 3, and then we'll wrap up. So am I making the right decision? Okay, I have 3 points on here. So 1, if you know enough to make a decision following your strategy and inner authority, please do that. It warmed my heart so much when I had a returning client say to me, I'm trying to, she told me as she was going to book in, I spent all this time watching your videos and then I made myself wait. I already recognized and valued you, but I wanted to wait for my emotional authority to make sure I was making the right decision. I'm like, yay! It made me so happy because that's the whole freaking point. The whole point is for you guys to live this. And if you guys manage to live your design and all you ever do is like, share, and comment on my videos and you never book a session, but I still made an positive impact on your life, we won. Like, we did it, right? But if you are trying to make a decision about whether or not to have a coaching session with me and you're still like so new to human design, you don't know how to follow strategy and inner authority because you don't really understand what it means yet. You need me to explain the jargon, or you understand it, but you're so heavily conditioned that you can't follow it. Then here's my very sincere suggestion. Just guess. Just guess. Do I think that I like her? Do I think that I trust her? I'm gonna book a single session and see what happens. Just guess. You know, we go through life guessing decisions all the time. So just guess. Now, I have a caveat to go with that. And that is, do you have the time and space to actually, not just to have the session, but to be able to work with the suggestions that I make, to be able to integrate the breakthroughs you might have in the session. Because remember, as a projector, I can see, sense, feel, know really deeply. So when we're in session, I'm going to meet you so deeply that so much is going to transpire from a single session if I am the right person to guide you. And I really want you to consider that the work, even if you were to only book one single session, and you can book, some people will book session after session over a period of time, and that's beautiful. I always encourage them to have lots of integration time between sessions. But think about that session, not just what am I going to learn in one session, but have I got the time and space genuinely to be able to rewatch the recording if she teaches me a lot, to integrate what I'm learning. It will be it will be 10 times the value of what you pay if you can give yourself the time and space, and if you have the time and space to be able to work with and integrate what I say. Which brings me to the last point, which is do my coaching fees, and you can find it all at carolinsouthwell.com/coaching. Do they feel doable for you, or do they feel stressful? If they feel doable, yep, that's totally within my budget, great. And you've said yes to the other things, then you can go ahead and book a session. Just look at the session descriptions and work out which one feels like it's the thing that you want from me. If my coaching sessions, fees, feel stressful for you, then I really want to encourage you to think about how else you can learn from me until you either increase the amount of money that you have to be able to book a session, or you save for it over a period of time if necessary. But I have hundreds of videos on this YouTube channel. Feel free to just binge through, or even watch and listen and integrate, and watch and listen and integrate every single video that applies to you. It is no skin off my nose if you spend a year working your way through these and save up for a coaching session, or even just be aware of the ways, the low cost courses, or if I offer group programs and other things that are within your budget. And it comes back to, again, your nervous system feeling really good, because the safer you can feel, the better you are going to be able to learn, the better you are going to be able to unlearn or decondition the stuff that's not helping you, and the better you're going to be able to live into your design, which is the number one thing I want for you. I want you to be able to live into your design. So there's one last point that I actually didn't put on this, and this is just being really clear that I am a projector. If you've got to this point in the video, you probably value and recognize me, which means we're probably a good match anyway. But if you happen to find my work and go, oh, I don't even want to watch another video of hers. I don't like her. I don't trust her. I don't like the sound of her voice. I don't think she's that good. I think she should wear makeup on camera, blah, 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 whatever. If you don't really, truly value what I'm teaching and recognize that I am the right person for you, you should absolutely not book a session. But if you are the person who emails me and says, I'm thinking about which session to book, and I have binged almost every video on this topic on your channel, great. We can do magic together. So I hope that has been really helpful. carolinsouthwell.com/coaching if you want to check out the coaching options. And if you have more questions that you're well, they were great, Carolyn, but actually the thing that's stopping me from knowing whether or not to book a session is actually this thing that you didn't talk about, feel free to drop it in a comment. I'm happy to either write you a little answer in the comment, or if it's big enough, then I can do another video. And here is to an excellent 2026.